2025, a viral video simply can't exist without one thing: a shot list, or at least a fucking solid plan. Whoa, no clicking off yet. I can assure you it's not nearly as boring as it sounds. Before I show you how, who am I to even be telling you this in the first place? Well, I'm Cam, and in 2024, I built my Instagram page to over 65,000 followers using my very own retention videography. So the question I'm sure is on all of your minds is, what the fuck is retention videography? And rather than me telling you, let me show you. But to make things interesting, I'm going to take you on a journey behind the scenes of my viral short form content. And first things first.
Wake up, in the forest. Why am I in the forest? Oh, forest content guy, of course. Find some coffee. Can't forget the camera. Oh, and all this stuff. Then it's off to location 1.
Whoa, hold on a sec. I don't actually know where I'm going.
That's where our good friend the shot list comes in. We split this bad boy into 4 key sections, starting with the locations.
Okay, so the first question, which I'm sure is on all of your minds, is why? You know what I mean? Why would I use multi-location? What's the reason? Why don't I just sit in my office and film one shot with zero change whatsoever? Well, I'll tell you this. Have a little scroll through Instagram right now and tell me if you see a video that's performing well that doesn't at least have multi-angle or multi-location in it. You struggle. You genuinely would. So that kind of tells you that people are looking for a bit of variation in the content nowadays. And it doesn't have to be anything particularly extravagant. Like if you've got a forest near you, if you've got a beach, if you've got a car park, like whatever it might be, just something different that takes you out of the office. Easy as that. Like it really doesn't have to be anything particularly complicated. Literally just anywhere that you've got access to that you think looks somewhat aesthetically pleasing. It's genuinely all it takes. And then the question is, how do you actually track them? That's where the shot list comes in. You can write a little key of locations that you've got access to on your shot list, and every single time you go to write out a plan for your video, you've got a selection of places that you can go nice and easy. Okay, I've just had a stark realization that I've spent this whole time setting up this camera for this video. I've put it in fucking landscape mode. This is the thing, I can't do BTS stuff because I don't think about the stuff that I'm doing, I just think about the stuff that I'm saying. Anyway, what happens if you want to shoot just in your office, right? What happens if you literally have access to 0 locations whatsoever, and all you can do is film in your office? Well, that's where retention videography comes in, or just as variation in shot types. Let me explain.
The next column, and second most important, is shot types. Here's what it looks like, and here's the key. But what does it actually all mean?
Okay, so shot types. Which ones do you want to use and why? Well, because this is short form content, and we're trying to move with pace, we don't want to be on our shoot for 8 hours straight. I like to keep it really simple, and I use just 3. First of all, we've got a wide, mid, and close shots. Why? Well, the thing is, with just those base 3 shot types, you can actually create a decent amount of variation just by changing the camera angle. For example, you could do a low mid, you could do a close shot at eye level, or you could do a long shot high, and loads of other different options. And rather than me just explaining them all to you, what I will give you is my created dilemma grid. Now, I personally think this grid is really good if you're just starting out with shot listing and you're not quite sure how to actually portray emotion through your shot types, or what shot types even portray what emotions. Now, I'm not going to explain exactly what this grid does to you here because it would take me ages. What I will do is I'll give you a link in the description and there'll be a brief rundown underneath it just to tell you exactly how to use it. So then the question remains, what if you've got an extensive list of shot types that you like to use, or you're an experienced videographer, or you just want to add more variation? Well, the shot list is really customizable. So that key area, you can just add your own shot types to it with pretty much no problem. Easy. I know I said about customizing it. That's because essentially you can have your own copy. So let me zoom out a little bit, hold on. It's better. Yeah, so in the description, at the top link, you can have your own copy of the shot list where you can customize it however you want to. You don't have to do it exactly the way that I do it. It's just kind of there as a reference. So your whole key, you can completely change it. You could literally change the entire layout if you want to. So the next question is, what do you actually do in the shots, right? We got the locations, we understand where we're going, we understand what shot types we're getting. Now we need to understand what we actually do in the shots. So that's the next section.
Right, this is the main event, the actions performed column.
Albeit, this section is obviously the meat and veg of every shot list. It's kind of self-explanatory. So it's kind of split into 2 sections. First, we've got the line that you're delivering, and then the stage direction, or what you're actually doing in the shot. So we just have the lines literally written out as normal text, and then we've got the stage directions in brackets. They're essentially telling you what you need to do in your shot. So it's literally anything as simple as look to the right, or jump, or sprint towards the camera, or whatever it might be. Just use these to make it so you don't have to think on your shoot day, right? There's nothing better than, personally in my eyes anyway, using a shot list on a shoot day and realizing that you don't really have to do any of the creative thinking because it's written down and it's done. You just go out and you film what you've told yourself to film, basically. It's really easy. So beyond that, how do we actually split the lines up for each shot type? I literally just do it sentence by sentence. So generally, I want to create some kind of natural flow within the video, make it feel conversational without 1 being too rushed or 2 being too slow. You need to find a happy medium. And generally, we found Personally, and in our kind of experience anyway, we found that anywhere between 2 to 4 seconds length in shot type is kind of ideal. So let's say you started your hook with "this is the continuous zoom effect" or something like that, and then your next line was, "and if you don't use it on your content, good luck going viral, blah, blah, blah." You can kind of tell that that would be split into 2 shots. And once again, it's just split up sentence by sentence. Nice and easy. So you'd have the first line on row 1, and you'd have your second line on row 2, and then whatever stage directions either side of that line to tell you basically what you're doing in the shot. Nice and easy. Now, on to the last part. It's kind of my favorite bit, to be fair.
Last but not least, the tick boxes.
All right, the first and kind of most obvious reason for using tick boxes on your shot list is to keep organized during your shoot day, right? It makes sense. When you're out on a shoot day, if you've got 80 shots to do and you're not ticking them off every single time, guarantee you end up getting double shots or missing half of them, and it'll be really frustrating. So having just a little box to tick means that you're not gonna miss anything. Second of all is dopamine. Now, it sounds stupid, but on a shoot day, sometimes it can be a little bit exhausting. It can kind of take it out of you. So having something, just a little button to click, just to be like, "Ah, cool, that's done." Really satisfying. Just gives you a little bit of a buzz and a little bit of a rush when you finish your shoot day. All right, congratulations, you made it to the end. And what did I say? Not nearly as boring as you thought. So I'm gonna give you a quick roundup and then we can kind of move on. So essentially, the shot list is as follows. We've got locations listed on the right-hand side and also separating each area of your actions performed section. Then we've got the shot types. As I said before, we've got wides, mids, and closes, and then variations of those shot types. Beyond that, we've got actions performed, literally 2 things. We've got the lines and the stage directions. And lastly, good old-fashioned tick boxes. Nice little dopamine hits. And there's a little bit extra, we've got the kit list. Now that's something that I've not actually mentioned, and I'll give you a quick anecdote of a situation where a kit list has come in very handy. So there was one point back in the day when we were going and filming up in London, and I stupidly didn't write down a kit list. We got all the way to London, and surprise, surprise, me being an absolute idiot, I forgot the mics. Typical. And you can't really do a shoot without some mics. So we had to spend 350 quid, or however much it was, on a brand new set of mics, just because my dumbass forgot to bring them. So if that's not an example of why you should write a kit list for pretty much every shoot, I don't know what is. And with that being said, that is the whole shot list explained, and the reason you should be using it on your content. If you do want access, like I said, it'll be in the top link of the description, along with the Creator Dilemma Grid. I'll see you next week for another behind the scenes session.